Hey guys, MH here. Welcome back to episode 10 of the iZombie Endless series. Okay, so let's jump right into this layout. So, we shall start with imp here. Actually, no, not the imp. We have to beware of these spikeweeds. Because the imp can only survive one spikeweed. So we have to use a cone head here. And that's another reason why I wouldn't use the dancing zombie on this lane. Though it will clear these two lanes, I can't use it because when the dancing zombie is spawning the backup dancers, it will stop moving, and when the backup dancers are eating something on the other lane, it will also stop moving, so it will probably end up dying to these two spikeweeds. So instead, and these other lanes aren't really suitable for dancing zombies, so I won't be using it for this layout. Okay, I think next we can over on the top lane. That should take out the fume shroom as well. For this bottom lane, an imp. Let's take out all the squashes first. Cone head here. That will make it one spikeweed. In this case, anything survives one spikeweed if there's no other damaging plants. Pole vaulter here. Over here, a pole vaulter is not gonna work. But I think if we send one imp here and another imp here, it will trigger the. Okay, it doesn't trigger the squash. Now it does. Yeah, it's the same as using two pole vaulters anyway. For this middle lane, we need a cone head here. That should trigger this. And then we have to use pole vaulters here. Because imps can only survive a fume shroom if it's at the very front. If it's even here, it won't survive. So now we have to use two pole vaulters, and that should do the trick for this first layout. Not the best, but for this kind of layout, it should be pretty much optimal. Okay, similar layout here, but in this case we can use the dancing zombie because this layout has no attackers and like it's only instant plants and there's no spikeweed, so we can just start at the back here. The reason why I start at the back is because there's a tromper here, and also it just feels safer, I guess. You know, the backup zombies spawn further back, so they are less likely to skip the other plants. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's just how I feel. And yeah, if I put an imp here, it would die. So I can't use the imp here, I have to use the cone head, but it will still die to the squash anyway. And I have to use another cone head here. Okay, for this last lane, if I were to take out the squash first, that's 50. And then if I use a pole vault, I don't think it would survive 2. It might survive 2, but it will die here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a digger zombie here that should be damaged by this spikeweed, but it will take this out, and then it will get hit by the squash. So that's one trick you can also use with the digger zombie. You don't have to always trigger the squash first. You can let the digger zombie trigger the squash. Then after that, I can just send a pole vault over. So that I'm going to do that now. And yeah, for this lane I have to use a pole vault. I can't use the imp because the imp would die from 3 shots from the mushroom. The mushroom does the same damage as a pea shooter, so 3 shots, which is like 3 pieces, that's the same thing. And yeah, this will eat this and it will get taken out, and then I can send a pole vault over. It will survive. Pole vaulters, right after they use their pole, they will move at the same speed as a normal zombie. So a normal zombie can survive, I think it can survive 2 spikeweeds, I'm correct? Like, or it just barely dies to 2 spikeweeds, but for 1 it's safe. If it was 2 or more, I would have to use a cone head instead. Okay, for this next layout, we see that the magnet room is all the way at the back. And there's 2 kernel pouts here. I think the best bet against the kernel pout, I'll rather not risk sending something to the Actually, I'm thinking about it. I think 2 coneage should do the trick. Yeah, let's try that. Because, okay, against a kernel pod, try not to send single units. Because, especially if 2, there's a higher chance of them to get permanently stunned and then you just lose out. But in this case here, I think the kernel pods do some damage, but not enough to fully take out the zombie on its own, like without a lot of stall. So once I take out this Snow Pea, okay, they both have the cones gone, but I think it should survive unless they keep getting stunned. Okay, yeah, the butter does do a lot of damage. Yeah, I think it should make it. If this gets buttered, it might die. Yeah, okay, this one is a bit risky now. You never know though. I think it should make it though. Unless it gets buttered again. Okay, that was risky. And if I send a imp here, it would die also. Especially if it gets buttered, it will probably die in one shot, I think. So I have to use a pole vaulter here. You know, I think it's still more worth it using a bungee. Like I use 2 coordinates and 1 pole vault, that's 2 to 5. Compared to if I bungee it 1 to 5, that means I only have 100 sun to take out the entire lane. But with a kernel pod, even a football zombie might not survive, especially with all that butter. Okay, so speaking of that, for this lane we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 P's equivalent per shot, I guess. I don't know what the proper term is, but for every interval there are 5 P's coming out here, and there's also a torchwood, so we multiply this by 2, so it's 7 instead. So a football zombie, you have to use a football zombie here. Nothing else you're gonna make it anything close. I think this might not make it. Or maybe it will because of the speed. But yeah. You have to gauge the health of the zombies you're using against and how much damage these plants can output. And now that once this is gone, for here I have to use a cone head. Okay, it makes it. I have to use a cone head because of this. I think if this Spikeweed wasn't here, I could have just used an imp, but I have to use a cone head because the Spikeweed will take out the imp. Once the imp will take a few shots from the split pea and then it will die here. Okay, for here, it's a bit risky because there's a Spikeweed from a kernel pod. When this happens, if it gets buttered on top of here, it will die. So I think we can gamble a bit here. Just hope this doesn't get stunned on top of the Spikeweed. Yeah, see, once it clears, it's safe. You're lucky there. If it was even slightly behind, you would have died. Okay, but now it's a risky though. This might die to the kernel pod. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. I took a gamble there and I paid the price. I wasted the sun. I have to commit an extra zombie just to this. I should just use a football zombie there. Yeah, I think the kernel pod, especially when it's at the back, you can't underestimate it. For this case, I'll use a ladder zombie at the very bottom because of the snow peas. Against a snow pea, you want to use a ladder zombie because it's the only zombie that's immune to the snow effect. Yeah, and it's basically just, it becomes like a pea shooter. Anything else will get stuck on top of the Spikeweed and probably die. Other than like a football zombie. Okay, so next thing out. Yeah, this was the one I wanted to showcase in this video as well. You have to beware of the Spikeweeds. For this case, I think a bucket zombie should make it. But it depends on how many stars there are. So usually when I do these levels, I like to take out the lane with the most stars first, but in this case it's 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, so quite evenly spread. In this case, I would take out the lane that the bucket is least likely to die, which in this case is this middle lane, because there's only 1 Spikeweed and 2 stars compared to 3 here. And here there's 2 Spikeweeds on the mushroom. So next, I will probably take out this one because the mushroom is at the very front, so it won't die. Like, as in like, okay, I mean it will die like almost instantly. It may only take about 4 to 5 shots before it dies. So yeah, and then I'll go for this next. The bucket should be able to clear most of the time, but if you want to play it safe, you can use a football zombie instead. So next I'll go a bucket head in this lane, and it should be able to clear. And once this clears, actually you can really start sending the zombies in the other lane once the stars clear, because the stars are the only one that can attack between lanes. And stars can only attack backwards, directly up, directly down, or some weird diagonals this way. I still can't really get used to it. I think it's, for this star you can attack here, here, and for the down it's like somewhere here, I think. So now you can go this lane. And after that I will go probably here, because there's one spike left in here. See, once this star is gone, I can immediately go here, because this is now independent of this. This not, I mean this lane here is independent of this lane. And same principle, I can already send a bucket on top, and this should make it. But in general, on the Spikeweeds, I think, especially in this layout I tried before, a cone hit will survive 4 Spikeweeds, provided there's no other stars to hit it. If the other stars will hit it, then it will probably, you have a chance to die, but if there isn't any other attacking plants or other lanes, it will survive. I think a poor vault would survive too, it's just that because of its speed, but if it has to jump over something, then it will die. It will be like a normal zombie. A normal zombie, I think, can't make it past 2 Spikeweeds. So in this case, I'll start by taking out either the magnet room first. In this case, where there's a 3-beater and a star in adjacent lanes, I think usually I'll take out the 3-beater first, because the star at most can only attack once here, but 3-beater can attack continuously on this side. Actually, I can already do this. It's out of the magnet room's range. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if this will die, because yeah, and there's a Spikeweed. This is definitely not making it. I don't know whether I take out this bathroom. Yeah, it will, but it will die. And I think if I send an imp here, it will still die anyway, because 2 Spikeweeds can kill imp, but imp can barely pass 1 Spikeweed. So now we will take care of this magnet room here. I think cone hit. And once you just send 2 cone hits. You have to be careful. Yeah, because of this, especially it's a very bad combo against. In fact, I think this might not actually survive. I might need something stronger. Yeah, I need something else. I should have sent a stronger zombie there. Yeah, because Torchwood doubles the damage, so this was like a repeater basically, and with the stun from the kernel pot, it's basically over. But I will ignore this lane first, because the star can still damage it, and I don't have to attack this lane right now, so I will do the other lanes first. Next I will do here, I trigger the squash, then I can send a ladder zombie here. And once this star is gone, I can attack the other lanes freely. Once it triggers, I can just send a ladder zombie in here, since it's immune to the snow effect. And for here, I think I will use a conate zombie, because it's positioned very far forward. If it was further back, I will use a bucket instead. Now the star is gone, now all the lanes are independent of each other. And for here, I think I'll use a cone hit so that I can send an imp later. For this bottom lane, I'll use a digger zombie since there's 2 chompers. And I can take them out from behind. Though if there's a chomper on the very back, I won't be able to do this. Yeah, and once this hits, I feel I can do it now. So once there's a big enough gap between them. And now I just wait. Okay, for this layout it's actually quite bad. But at least we are still quite early on. So it isn't all just mushrooms. Like I see some vulnerabilities like this middle row. I think in fact one cone hit can take this out. It's the same as just now when there's one premature hit and a sunflower here, so this will survive. Next I'll probably target here. I've used 2 cone hits, so I think because the fume is very far back. I think the way to deal with this, I will try to target the lanes to the magnet shrooms first. Once they're gone, I can just send a bucket to clear everything else. For here it's quite bad because the fume shroom is at the back and the mushroom at the back, so I'll just try to clear the front first. And later if I clear all the magnet shrooms, then I can just attack from the back. So cone hits here to try to clear the magnet shrooms. If this dies, I'll probably send another one to clear these, but I think it's never worth it to send Bungee Zombie. It's just too much just to take out a plant when sending cone hits will do it. Like, I think 1 to 5 just to take out a single plant, it's not very worth it. Yeah, okay, it did survive. I don't know if this will make it through, but now we can do this. I'm not gonna send 2, I think. It's not worth it. Because my goal is just to take out this magnet shroom. I hope that survives though. Okay, it did not, unfortunately. I think maybe a pole vault would have... Okay, it's a bit risky, but now... Yeah, now I can send a bucket hit here. Oh, in that top lane just now, I didn't see, but I guess the cone hit survived. Yeah, that's good, I guess. Because generally a cone hit can survive. It takes at least 2 mushrooms and a fume shroom to kill a cone hit based on my experience playing normal adventure mode, I guess. Or maybe like 3 or 4 mushrooms that are placed far back to kill a cone hit, but 1 is not enough. Unless it's very very low. But yeah, so we clear this layout. Okay, so this next layout, I would try to target this star first because I want to use an imp at the bottom. Actually, I don't even have to, I can just send a pole vault over, but I'll take out this star first so it doesn't like splash across the entire map. And lucky enough, it's out of the range of the magnet shroom. This lane is very stacked and there are 2 plants I can fire back, so I have to use a football zombie here. That's the safest option. And once this star goes out, I can use a pole vault zombie to take out this entire lane. For this lane, I think a cone hit is enough because I don't need something to end it strong because it will die to the chomper anyway, but once that eats it, I can just send a imp to clear because imps can survive 1 Spikeweed. If this chomper is anywhere else in the lane, I won't be able to do this, but because it's in front, I can just clear this entire lane by bypassing the chomper. For here, I will use a ladder zombie because so I can bypass this walnut. Imp won't make it, I think, so I have to use a... no, imp will make it. I forgot the ladder zombie has to eat this pea shooter first. So yeah, I can send an imp here. For this lane, it's the issue. Because it's actually a very difficult lane. Spikeweed, Kernel Pulp, and Snoopy is a very bad combo, but in this case, there's a squash here, so I don't want to use anything too strong. So I'm gonna use a ladder zombie. Yeah, that's not good. But I hope it at least makes it here so the squash can trigger. If that ladder breaks, I think we have a problem. Yeah, but now that this mushroom is gone, I can trigger the squash remotely by sending a pole vault over, but hopefully it doesn't get buttered so it can pass. Oh, and I realized I can just use another pole vault here, so that I can bypass this Spikeweed and Snoopy. It's a dangerous combo. And again, a kernel pop is very weak against stuff that are near it, unless it butters. And yeah, that's it. For this next layout, this lane's very strong, but I can just use a Digger Zombie here. For here, this lane is actually quite bad. In fact, I don't know if, in fact, using a Bungee Zombie made me worth it here. Actually, no, I think a Cone Hit, see what's the Magnus shoot. If it was further back, I would use a Bungee Zombie, but since it's at the very front, I can still use a Cone Hit to take it out. Yeah, but now I think the play is just wait and see. I don't know whether I should send. Yeah, there's no point sending supporting zombies, they'll all die anyway. Or whether I was thinking whether sending a pole vault over to take out the kernel part was the play, but I think it would have died anyway because the zombies were low. But we can settle that lane later. So for this lane, I'll use a Cone Hit because it's at the very front. If this was a back instead, I would use something stronger like a Bucket Hit. But yeah, I think it will survive. For here, we use a Digger Zombie to clear because now this can shoot the back. And now I have to target this very strong lane first, so I'll use a Football Zombie. Yeah, bad combos. For this top, I think I'll use a Leather Zombie because there's no Spikeweed. Hopefully it doesn't get buttered too many times. Yeah, and the kernel power, at least the kernel power is not at the very back. Okay, for this lane, once the Tripita is gone, so for this lane I'll have to use a Bucket Hit because of the Spikeweed. And this is equivalent of 3 Ps per interval. Yeah. And the Football Zombie barely survives here. And now I can just send Imp here and the entire lane is cleared. Or this entire layout is cleared. Okay, for here, we have to take out this Magnus room first. So I'll use, I think 1 Cone Hit is enough here. Yeah, because single pass room doesn't really, though I'm worried about this Spikeweed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna concurrently send a Leather Zombie on top once this Magnus room is gone, so that I hope this star can get taken out before the Cone Hit reaches. Okay, no, it's not gonna make it. Yeah, stars can attack. 1 tile down and 3 tiles, 4 tiles to the right. Okay, but now stars can only really attack when they are directly on top. And once this goes, I can just send an input survive 1 Spikeweed, so yeah, I can just do this and here trigger the squash. Though I need to take this lane out first. This lane I'll use a Leather Zombie because actually I think a Bucket would do, but I'll just use a Leather Zombie because I don't want that Bucket to get stuck on this Spikeweed. Okay, yeah, maybe I think a Bucket would have survived there anyway. Because a 3-bitter is just like a pea shooter. For here, I would I think the play is to Cone Hit here to take out everything, so I can just send an Imp at the end rather than send a pole vault and having to spend more money on the pole vault later. And it's the same cost. Cone Hit and the pole is the same cost, so there's no reason to use to bypass the plant where you can just eat it at the same cost. For this lane, I have to use a Cone Hit here. Hopefully it doesn't get stun locked. It should take out the kernel power, and then once that eats it, I can use a pole vault, bypass the fume shroom, and it's gone. Yeah, once it eats it, I can just use pole bypass and that's it. Okay, so this layout, 3 kernel pods. There's some nightmare stuff I've never seen before. We can actually just go straight to that. This real nightmare view. I don't even know if this will make it. It's just gonna get stun locked. But at least there's no piece at the front. Yeah, this is not making it. Yeah, why didn't I just send a digger zombie? We shall see how it goes. But you know, I always send a digger zombie on top here. At least it's not frozen anymore. And it is actually pretty difficult here. I hope it at least takes out this one so I can just bypass. Yeah, I can just bypass now. Nice. And like I said, an imp here, it would survive and help take this out. Okay, now this layout is actually very difficult. I think because no P, there's too many P's attacking here. Whatever I send here will just die, so I'll bungee zombie here. Okay, I just read that's a terrible mistake. I did not look out. Okay, this is actually really hard layout. Yeah, I wasn't observant there. This is a, what do you call it, umbrella leaf. Yeah, I just wasted the sun there. Yeah, this is actually really difficult. I don't even know how to make it through this. Oh, I just have to flood this lane first, so that I can take this out. Maybe just spam enough cone hits here, it will make it through. And yeah, that bungee was for nothing then. Yeah guys, you have to look out for the umbrella leaves. It's a bad habit of mine, cause I don't really use bungee that often, so I don't really pay attention. And yeah, cause honestly, to be umbrella leaf, like I don't even look at it when it's in a layout, because I don't even use bungee zombie that often. Okay, yeah, no more excuses. Let's get into this. Okay, I think just spam cone hits here. That should be the play. There's no point wasting more sun on the bungee when you can just send a walking wall of zombies to take it out. This always bucket hit. Okay, yeah. I guess I'm not very alert today. You need to be patient. I didn't wait for that magnesium to disappear first. Now I can send it. But yeah, quite careless of me here. I guess I'm not really paying attention. Yeah guys, you have to be patient. You can't rush like I did there. Let's try to not rush things here. But this is it for this layout at least. Yeah, this is quite bad of a layout. There's too many mushrooms here. But what I can do is I can trigger this squash first. Then just try to get rid of these potato mines and we can just bypass, I think. Or what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it like this, so that it can tank more hits. So it's a high chance of surviving. Trigger this squash. Here you have to use a bucket hit. Cone hit won't survive. I think we barely have enough sun to make it through here. I don't know if we have enough. Yeah, this top lane is a problem though. I'm gonna try to do here is send an imp, so hopefully okay, yeah, that's a bad play. I thought I could send an imp forward to get eaten by the Tromper, but the imp didn't last long enough because of the fume shroom and the Pashroom attacking it. And now we might not even have enough sun to make it. I think that we have barely enough. We shall see. If this dies before triggering the squash, it won't. Okay, yeah, we have barely enough. We have 50 left. Yeah, I guess it's over for us now. No matter what I do, my best bet is to send an imp here, but I will just die to all these Ps, and here, basically I can't get any more sun. There's really no point. Yeah, okay, so not the best play here, especially at the end. I made a lot of mistakes there. I don't know even if I wasted about at least 300 sun there, I don't know if that would be enough to get through this level. I think it might not have been. I have no idea. Yeah, 400 plus 300. I don't think 700 is enough to clear this layout, especially there's a lot of group plants here that will make it very hard to counter. But yeah, I guess the lesson you all have to learn is don't rush, be observant, and I guess be familiar, have a good gauge of what survives what, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, see you next time, bye.